Welcome all of you for our Facebook Live session this morning. We are on the 15th day of our 21 days habit challenge. A quick recapitulation of what we heard in our discussion yesterday. The first principle that we discussed yesterday was that it's not about doing the easy things, it's about doing the right things. Usually we find that wrong things come easy and they give pleasure in the moment, but we have to pay a high price later. Lord Krishna calls this the tamasic pleasures in the Bhagavad Gita. And those things that we do right may cause a little pain in the beginning. They may be hard to do, but they pay us a high premium. And Lord Krishna calls them sattvic pleasures in the Bhagavad Gita. So ladies and gentlemen, let's not be so worried about what's easy. Let's be worried about what's right. And the right things are usually hard to do, but we keep going, and that's how we can deal with our bad habits. The second principle that we discussed yesterday morning was that we should never give up hope. Even if we fail, even if we lose, even if we slip in whatever we have decided and the results that we made, we just don't give up. We keep going with hope. Hope is that flame which lights up the candle of patience, hard work, determination. If we have hope, we'll have patience. If we have hope, we'll put in the effort. If we have hope, we have the determination. So let's continue with hope. Tiger Woods was once asked, what is the secret of his success? How is it that every single time he hits the ball with his golf stick, it goes and ends up in the golf hole? Tiger Woods said, the secret of my success is 3 words. He paused for a moment and said, practice, practice, practice. The secret, Tiger Woods said, for his success was practice, practice, practice. I want to ask all of you a question. If you would practice football, soccer, for 12 hours a day, every single day, for the next 2 years, will you become a Cristiano Ronaldo? Maybe, maybe not. What will you be in terms of playing soccer and football? Better. A better football or soccer player if you practice 12 hours a day for 2 years every day. If you practice cricket for 12 hours a day every day for the next 2 years, would you be a Virat Kohli? Maybe, maybe not. What would you be in playing cricket if you practice 12 hours a day every day for the next 2 years? Better in playing cricket. Isn't it a fact that we get better at and great at what we practice with great focus over a long period of time? Now my question to you again is, if you would practice, or if you have been practicing anger for a long period of time for so many years, what are you going to be great at and what are you going to be a master at? Responding peacefully or reacting angrily? If you practice that, you're going to be reacting angrily. Another question to you. If you've been practicing procrastination for so many years over a long period of time, what are you going to be a master at? What are you going to be great at? Living in the moment? Doing things now? No. Procrastinating. Pushing things to tomorrow. Always postponing things to do it at some other time, at some later time. If you practice distraction of the mind over a long period of time, what are you going to be great at? Focus? Concentration? No. We're going to be great at distraction. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to master and be great at those things that we practice with great focus over a long period of time. We've been practicing our bad habits for so long, and therefore we become great at it, practically become masters in it. We have a master's degree in our bad habits now. I teach people mantra meditation, chanting. I teach them how to chant the Hare Krishna mantra that I practice. For those who are interested, I do teach them. And one guy, after learning this mantra meditation, came up to me and he said, when I chant this mantra, my mind is getting distracted and is going all over the place. I said, that's what we have done for so long. And now that we are trying to unwind and get back to doing it right, that's the habit that's going to keep going for us. Lord Krishna in the Gita says that the focal point of yoga is control of the mind. We are not going to gain mastery in anything unless we learn how to control the mind. So he says, if you want to practice yoga, Arjuna, you have to learn how to control the mind. To this, Arjuna responds back and says, my dear Lord, it's not easy for me to control the mind. I can control the raging wind with my weapons, but I cannot control the restless, flickering, unsteady, strong, obstinate mind. Lord Krishna responds by saying, Asamshayam, undoubtedly what you're saying about the mind is true. It's restless, it's obstinate, it's stubborn. It's all over the place, distracted. Undoubtedly what you're saying is true. But it is not impossible to control the mind. And Lord Krishna says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihate. By constant abhyas or by constant practice and detachment, you will be able to get grasp over your mind, which is the focal, the central point, the very crux of the system of yoga. And therefore, unless we learn how to practice the right habits, we are not going to master them. We are not going to get great at them. We have practiced the wrong ones for so long and we mastered them so well. Now if we have to unwind, we have to practice just the opposite so that we get out of it and get mastery over the right habits or over the good habits. In fact, Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna about dealing with the mind. And I told this gentleman who was telling me that my mind gets distracted when I chant, when I meditate, when I try to focus, the mind is going all over the place. It's never in the present. It's hovering over the past, lamenting, or it's going to the future and getting worried. I think about examinations if I'm a student. I think about work pressures if I'm a professional. I think about all the relationship conflicts, all the heartburns. All of this just keeps playing on my mind. I told them the way to deal with it. Lord Krishna says, Yato yato nischalati manaschanchalam astiram tatastato niyamyaitat atmanyevo vashamnyayet. Says, wherever and whenever the mind wanders due to its chanchala, due to its flickering nature, hey Arjun, tatastato niyamyaitat, bring it back under the control of the higher self. It'll go, it's the nature, bring it back. It'll go again, bring it back. And it goes again, bring it back. Practice bringing the mind back. Abhyasa or practice means whatever you're trying to deal with, focus on it. Bring the mind back. And if you practice bringing the mind back again and again and again, I told this gentleman, your mind will get used to coming back. And you'll be focused in your chanting, in your meditation. And then when you start studying, if you're a student, you'll focus on your study because your mind has now got used to coming back. If you're a professional, your mind will get used to coming back because you've been practicing it. There was a boy studying in an ancient Gurukul, in an ancient school in India, where little boys would go and study under their gurus, their masters. And he was very poor at his studies, not so smart, lazy, distracted, unfocused. All the other kids were doing very well and they would mock this boy for being lazy and perennially distracted. Even the teachers would reprimand him. The boy kind of tolerated for a while, and after a while he was just so frustrated, he just decided to quit. He left the Gurukul without even telling the teacher, the guru, without informing any of the kids, and started wandering around. As he came to a village close by, it was very hot, he felt extremely thirsty, and he saw a well at a distance. He went and drank waters to his heart's content, and sat under a tree nearby, staring aimlessly at the well. A woman or two would come to the well to fetch water from the well, and it was a very simple stone well. It didn't even have the system or the arrangement for a pulley. The women just had a long rope which was attached to a bucket, and they would just throw the rope into the well, and pull it back to draw the water, as the rope would just go on the edge of the well back and forth. After the ladies had drawn water from the well and left, the boy saw the edge of the stone well very closely, and as he observed, he found that the rope, by having gone back and forth again and again on the edge of the well, had left a deep impression on the stone. The boy thought to himself, if the rope can go back and forth and can leave an impression on a dead stone, I'm not a dead stone. I shouldn't give up. I think I can change as well. The boy came back to the Gurukul and decided that he has to practice focus. Distracted as he was, he would fall asleep. Uninterested as he was, he would fall asleep in the class. So the classes then would be held under a tree. So he tied his ponytail, or his, in India I call it choti or shikha, to the branch behind the tree. Whenever he would fall asleep, by the tension he would wake up and he would try to focus on what the teachers were saying. Eventually, after a long time of trying hard, the boy started doing well and went on to become a great scholar in India. And this is when the boy said, Abhyas karat karat, karat karat abhyas ke, jad buddhi hoye sujan, rasri avat javat hai, sil par pade nishan. If a rope can go on the edge of the well back and forth and can leave an impression on a dead stone, why can't by regular focused practice one's intelligence change? Why can't by regular focused practice one transform? And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the reflection for this morning is practice. The key to change, the key to transform in terms of giving up our negative habits and cultivate positive habits is constant practice. And practice has three elements. The first, we should do things rightly. For example, if somebody is learning Hatha Yoga, Yogasanas, yogic postures, he or she has to, under a proper teacher, learn the postures rightly. So practice must be done rightly. Second, it should be done over a period of time. You can't master these complex yogasanas or postures over just a couple of weeks. It takes a while, so over a period of time. So one, we should do it rightly. Two, we should do it over a period of time. And three, we should do it with intense focus. Only when the student who's trying to learn the postures of yoga, as an example only, with great focus, will he or she be able to master it. Therefore, the reflection for this morning, if we have to cultivate good habits and give up our negative habits, the key is practice. Doing things rightly, doing things over a period of time, and doing things with intense and great focus. I wish to thank you all very, very much for joining us this morning for our 15th day of the 21 Days Habit Challenge. I look forward to seeing you once again tomorrow morning, Indian Standard Time, 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.